Our first guest on the show today wears a couple of different hats. Lisa Henry. Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
Help yourself to a cookie on the way out?
Oh, will do. Those are delicious cookies.
Oh, they are. They're something, right? Anyway, so you're with the Backpack Program, of course, and you also work with the Teachers Associations, the unions here in West Virginia.
Yes, Education West Virginia. That is the merged union of AFT West Virginia and WVEA.
Yeah, and that will become officially led by one person when?
Right now, there are co-presidents. So we have Dale Lee, who was formerly WVEA, Christy Skidmore, formerly president of AFT West Virginia. So they are co-presidents through the transition, which will be about a year until they have their next member meeting. I'm not sure if they're going to call it a convention or delegate assembly, one of those things where the members come and vote for new leadership to get us, then there'll be one president going forward.
Okay. Let's get to the Backpack Program stuff later in the interview.
Sure.
We'll start first with PEIA insurance premiums for the upcoming year, which, like everybody's premiums, will be more expensive.
Yes, on aggregate, the plan is supposed to increase 3%. And as I'm sure you're aware, there have been increases over the past several years. I believe last year was 14%. This would be another 3%, but there have been no changes in the salaries. So salaries for teachers and service personnel, they are set, a minimum is set by the state legislature. So usually that is where we get the raises from if the state legislature votes to increase that amount. So really what has happened over the past year and what I'm hearing from many members, from bus drivers, cooks, nurses, teachers, is that they are seeing less money in their paycheck. Since deductibles went up and their pay did not, they're actually receiving less than they have in years past.
So we had a situation in 2018 where we had a new governor, and the governor said we'll give out 5% raises, 1% a year for 5 years. That eventually led to a strike. And that was before PEIA insurance premium increases were an issue. Under the Justice Administration, I believe there were 5% raises during his 8 years as governor. It might have been 6, I think it was 5. The Morrissey administration did not give a raise in its first year. Are there discussions, serious discussions about a raise in the second year of the Morrissey administration?
Yes, and of course we are advocating for that already and have been, and we're hoping to see a raise, but we're advocating for it not just to cover that 3% increase in PEIA premiums. They need a true raise. As you know, West Virginia educators are paid some of the lowest salaries in the country, and we really need the government and our state to show that we value public education. It's important for the future of our children, and if it's not prioritized, we're going to keep having trouble.
To the point of a possible strike?
That is, there are always those who do bring that up, but there at this time it is not an overwhelming majority that's expressing that.
Do you feel that as a merged association, two has become one, that you have a stronger bargaining chip, more bargaining power now as one association?
Yes, absolutely. With unity, there's strength in having that one combined voice. Of course, both WVEA and AFT West Virginia advocated for public education for the employees, but being two different organizations, the delegate senators could play one off the other, and now having that combined voice, that one voice will definitely make us stronger.
Matt Miller.
Right now, you mentioned there are co-leaders, but there will be a vote in the future to elect new leadership. Will either one of them be running, do you know, or will there be brand new leadership with a quote-unquote brand new organization?
Dale Lee has been president of WVEA for a long time, and he has announced that he will not be seeking re-election. He's ready to retire, spend time with his grandkids. I do not know if Christy Skidmore plans to run for that, so it could be her or it could be someone new, another member coming up for that leadership role.
How could fresh leadership with the newness of the organization kind of maybe invigorate, bring some extra energy, if you will?
Yes, I think that would, there's something to be said for having that consistency, but having the new leadership, Christy Skidmore is brand new to AFT West Virginia. She was elected, I believe, a year ago. So she is brand new to AFT West Virginia in that leadership role. And having that and some new voices being heard that can bring some new ideas to the table as well. So, of course, that is always encouraged. We want to get our local leaders. I'd love to have a leader from out here in the Eastern Panhandle take on that role. But I understand, too, with trying to balance their teaching, it's difficult.
John, or do you have another on that?
No, go ahead.
John Gilstrap.
When I go to PEIA increases, I've got the website up here for PEIA, and like any insurance plan, it's just mind-boggling the number of options and such. But with 3% is not a huge number in and of itself. I understand it's relative to other things, but is this something that could be reasonably managed by a healthy person or a healthy family by shifting from Plan A to Plan C, and everything stays the same, and you roll the dice on health for the continued year? Is that what you expect to see people doing?
Yes, and what we're doing as a union is we want to educate our members is that you don't have to go to Plan A, although they've changed the names. They're planning to change the names of each of the plans.
Of course, because people are used to it.
And a majority of the people are on Plan A because when you sign up to be an employee, they're like, which plan do you want? Well, I want the best. But that one, while it has the lower deductible, most of the great benefits, if you are a healthy younger person, that may not be the best thing for you economically. Maybe you should go into one of the plans that have the higher deductible but lower premiums. But then if you do find that maybe you're diagnosed with something the next year, you can switch plans every year. So our goal is to try to help educate our members in deciding, because that might be a way that they can lower costs, is switching plans if they really don't need that A plan.
Because that has always made sense to me. One of the problems with the Affordable Care Act, it used to be that you could have these high deductible, like $6,000 disaster plans. That out of pocket, after you spent a huge amount of money, then everything is covered, and they're really, really affordable plans, and they went away. So, have West Virginia teachers ever struck?
Yes. So, in the 1990s was one that was before my time, and so was the one in 2018, 2019. I was not with the union. I was a member, but not in my current position at that time. And so,
what were the issues?
That last one, a lot of it was pay and PEIA. So over the years, when we had Governor Justice, he promised no raise in premiums, and that happened. But that's not sustainable. And instead what happened is you didn't have the increase to the healthcare costs as you normally would have. And as us in the private sector have insurance, you expect those increases as they come. But instead, it wasn't sustainable. It got hit all at once. I think in the past 4 years, if you include this 3%, it's about a 40% increase. And so while you say 3% for just this 1 year, that's not a big deal. I'm sure my healthcare costs have gone up at least that. But when you look at the whole aggregate over the past 4 years, that's a lot. And I don't know if there's any private insurance that has gone up that much.
But have there also not been 5% across the board pay increases as well?
Yes, there have been, but I'm not sure if that even keeps up with the cost of living, especially out here in the Eastern Panhandle. So,
Right. Well, two different things.
yes.
Right? So,
but yes, there was a raise in the last raise, so there was no raise last year. The year before, it generally covered the increased healthcare costs. So it came out for most people a wash. They didn't get a raise, but they were at least seeing the same take home. Without that raise this school year, the school employees are seeing less money come in through their paycheck after the health care is taken out.
so after this announcement came out just a couple of days ago, I think, about the increase, a lot of phone calls, a lot of interest from.
Yes, but however, this is a long process. So the PEIA Finance Board was out here in Martinsburg. They are required to go around the state and explain their plan. So they have their parameters are set forth by legislation. So they only can wiggle numbers so much. It is a set right now that the state puts in 80%, the employees put in 20%. So if those costs go up, such as drug costs going up, that means the state pays more, the employees pay more. So what we are advocating, instead of having that strict 80-20 split, is if the law could be changed and it said that the state will put in at least 80% and the employees will put in no more than 20%, that would give the PEIA Finance Board a little wiggle room with percentages to make sure we don't have this huge increase one year, a little increase the next. It can be more consistent, because right now there's no consistency, and you can't predict what your benefits are going to be year after year.
Lisa, there is also included in the 3% increase of the premium a $200 monthly spousal surcharge as well.
That's a $200 increase.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
So the spousal surcharge is that if you have a spouse who can get insurance from their employer, but you want them on PEIA because presumably it's better health care, then you have to pay a surcharge. And the reason for that surcharge is it says in the law that the employee is supposed to pay for that actuarial rate of the spouse. So it doesn't affect everyone. It doesn't affect if your spouse does not work, is on Medicare, or is self-employed, gets no health insurance. They can be on PEIA without that extra surcharge. However, it could very well be that your spouse does have a job. They, on paper, have health insurance, but it could be one of those catastrophic plans that is barely health insurance, with the super high deductibles, and it's just not enough for it benefits the family if they feel that they need to pay that spousal surcharge. So those paying the spousal surcharge, and that surcharge also is not it's the same for everyone. So PEIA premiums are paid in steps. It's based on how much money you make. So a school bus driver is not paying the same premiums as the superintendent.
Right.
However, with the spousal surcharge, it is that flat rate and affecting everyone the same. So that's another thing we're advocating for, is to put steps in there, because it is having our lowest paid school employees paying $500 some a month. I mean, that just takes almost their whole paycheck.
Lisa Henry, our guest here on the program. Let's flip to the backpack program if we could now. There's, 2 weeks of school left until they stop for the Christmas break. Have you already done your collections regarding gathering everything you need to distribute for the break?
So we do we accept food donations all year round, but of course this has been a busy time of year, and food drives have been coming in, monetary donations. Those are always very much needed, because this is a very expensive time of year for us. So just within the past month, the number of food bag requests have gone up 100. So we were about 650 kids in the end of October, And now we have requests for 750 bags, and we fulfill all those requests. So no matter how many bags each school requests from us, we provide those number of bags. So that's quite a big increase. We did expect it with the rising costs in groceries, but also whenever SNAP was delayed early in November, that had an uptick in requests as well. And I want to just, anybody who's listening, it's hard to make ends meet. You're having to decide between food for your kids or paying for medicine, heating bill. The backpack program is here for you. So we do not have income requirements. There's no paperwork that you have to fill out. Just reach out to your child's school and ask that they receive the weekend food bags, and they will be delivered to your child's school.
When are you meeting next to pack things up?
So this week is a busy week as we prep for winter break. So winter break, the kids are out 2 weeks. And so we provide extra food. What we do is give 2 large bags per child, and we deliver them to the schools. I think we're delivering them Wednesday next week. So the schools have a few days to get those home, especially for the little kids that can't take home 2 large bags at one time. And so this week we are bagging up those bags. So we're still doing our regular weekend bags for this weekend, plus doing, I think we're preparing for 800 students in case that number goes up a little more. So that will be 800 times 3 bags, 2,400 bags assembled this week. And then those will all go out. The weekend bags will go out on Thursday, and then the winter break bags will go out next week.
Pretty extended break this year. The last day of school is December the 19th, so that's a lot of ground to cover during that time away.
It is. And so we try to give as much food as possible, but yet we have to be mindful that the kids need to take the food home. So we try to balance the weight, not have too many cans in one bag, but also make sure we have as much food in there as we can. So what we provide is not going to cover breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day over break. It is a supplement, but that should have enough for breakfasts and lunches at least to help get the kids through. And also the food we provide most of it is kid friendly. So it's things that kids can make on their own or just open and eat. And we try to make that food as nutritious as possible within the limits of we can only provide non-perishable food.
And how can our audience help?
So this time of year, monetary donations are very much needed. Food on a usual month costs about $12,000 to $15,000 a month for us to purchase that food. With the additional and extra food we are handing out, that's going to be closer to about $18,000 to $20,000. So getting monetary donations in this time of year, if you are a business or you are able to itemize on your taxes, we are a 501c3, so you may be able to write off your donation. And we are 100% volunteer, so your donation is going to buying that food. And you can go on our website, feedbcwvkids.org, or it's probably easier just to Google Berkeley County Backpack Program. That will come up. Or you can write us a check as well. Our address for mail is a P.O. Box in Hedgesville, 2153, but that's listed on our website, Facebook page, Instagram as well.
Got it all covered.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Miller.
Do you prefer the cash as opposed to the food donation? Does that make it a little bit easier? And can you get the food maybe even cheaper than what someone could in the store and bring it?
Yeah. So if with cash donations, that we can stretch that money further because we do buy in bulk. We purchase food from Sam's Club, and then we also purchase food from the Mountaineer Food Bank, which is the Feeding America Food Bank for Berkeley County. And that food, however, is not free, but many times it is cheaper than what you could buy in the store. And even more importantly, we're able to buy it at a bulk amount of that we need for that 750 kids each week, because you can't go into Walmart and they don't have 750 soup cans on their shelves. So just for the efficiency of our volunteers and working, it really does help us to buy in bulk with that. So any amount can help, and we appreciate it.
Lisa, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Point out that everybody in the backpack program is a non-paid volunteer.
Correct. It costs us money, actually, as we use our gas to deliver to schools. The time put in, we have amazing volunteers. Many have been with us for years and years because they feel strongly about making sure that kids have enough food when they're not in school.
Appreciate the work that you do. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.